You see the Most High, he don't change. Keep his laws or stay lost up in the maze. Kings in the field, picking cotton mane. We from the jungle, yeah, they stole our sugar cane. Israel is a legendary name. The whole Bible is about our family's fame. He chose us, not these other nations' made, to give all praise to his set apart name.
Alright, Shalom Israel, I'm your brother Apollos to my right.
Shalom Asher.
And brother Azrael off in the back. But we the mountains of Israel, back with another video to hopefully clear up some of this confusion that's going on in Israel. There's a lot going on right now. And our job is to clear it up as best as we can. So this video we're going to call the spirit of feminism. It's a serious spirit going on in the world, also in Israel right now, the spirit of feminism. That's one of the biggest problems with our households, one of the biggest problems with the world today, period. With every part of the world, every foundation is all, he said all of the foundations of the world is out of course. So mainly it's because of feminism. If you have the head sick, the whole body gonna be sick. If the head don't know he's the head, then the body can't follow. All right? The body is only as good as the head. So in this video, we're gonna bring out how dangerous feminism is, even letting a little bit in your household. A little leaveneth the whole lump. So let's get a couple scriptures on it. 1 Corinthians chapter 11. The thing we're gonna find out is feminism is anti-Christ, first of all. It's anti-order, it's anti-everything that God said we were supposed to do. Feminism takes away the order out of the household, put the woman in power. We're gonna go through the order in the Bible so we can see, clearly what God meant it to be. Go ahead, 1 Corinthians 11, verse 2.
1 Corinthians 11 and 2. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances.
Keep what?
Keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
So he said keep the order as it's being delivered. And this is a big thing. The Lord is not a God of confusion, he's a God of order. So he said keep the order as it's delivered. Now he's going to deliver the order. Go ahead.
Verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Now, if you didn't even know what the word head meant, you could get the idea of what it means by seeing the relationships that is shown in this scripture. It's telling you that the man and the woman is the same relationship as Christ and the Father. Christ never disobeys the Father. Christ only, he said many times he was only here to do the Father's will. So understanding who your head is, that's who you're here to do their will. You're here to follow them. So he said the head of the man would be Christ and the head of the woman would be the man. So the woman's job is to actually do the will of the man, the commandments of the man. That's her job. That's what she was put here for. But for some reason, everybody think that Esau created the woman. And we're going by what Esau said the woman was supposed to be doing today. But God created the woman and he already had rules for her. He had instructions for her. Let's get Isaiah 29:16.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
He said, surely your turning of things upside down. Esau has turned things upside down, and the main thing is the order. He says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Meaning like he's the one that is shaping everything, like God, the potter's clay. He said this shall be esteemed as the potter's clay, meaning people are going to think that Esau actually created this and this is how it's supposed to be. And today that's how it is. Everybody think that a man and woman is supposed to be equal. They're supposed to have equal say-so in everything, because his ways are esteemed as the potter's clay. Like this is how the Lord fashioned it. But this is not the way the Lord fashioned the world to be. Start from the top one more time.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as potter's clay. For the works say of him that made it.
For shall the work say of him that made it. Go ahead.
He made me not.
So he said, shall the work is talking about people, women and men. He said, shall the work of him that made it say he made me not, meaning he didn't make me this way. Go ahead.
Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding.
And that's the thing. Today, the women think that God had no understanding with the way he framed and the way he created man and woman in the order. That God had no understanding. Something was wrong with God. That's the old times. That's not how things supposed to be today. But we're here to tell you and show you in your Bible that that's not what God said. God said the woman is a servant to her Lord. That's why the man is called her Lord, because she is his servant. He is her master. All right, there's order with God. And if you don't like order, you're not going to like this video. All right, so he says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed, say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? And that's what they're saying again. They're saying today that God had no understanding. He didn't know a woman was going to be as strong as she is today. He didn't know a woman was going to get to the point and surpass a man the way she is today. So God didn't have no understanding. So the rules that he had then don't matter, because now today woman got more understanding than God did back then. That's not so. And if you think that, you are anti-Christ, you are anti-God. This country has taught people nothing but wickedness. And like I said, it's our job to expose this wickedness in America, regardless how it make you feel. All right. Another thing about America, the Statue of Liberty. We mentioned it before. The Statue of Liberty is set up as a statue of freedom for women. In the Bible, women are not free. The woman is attached to a man or bound to a man. In America, they promote the freedom of a woman. Why? Because, go ahead.
I got one. If you to add on to that, they have a poster they promoted around. Was it? I think World War II, I believe, where you got the Esau woman. We can do it too. The red bandana. Yeah, that was pushed hard. You know.
That has messed up a lot of people's head right there. We can do it, or we can do what y'all do, or whatever they were saying. But they was trying to pretty much put out the spirit that, you know, men and women are equal. This feminism spirit, this anti-Christ spirit, anti-masculine spirit, and this thing gonna have to stop. You know. So we're gonna keep exposing it. Let's get Romans chapter 7, verse 2.
Romans 7 and 2. For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of the husband.
From the law of what?
Of the husband.
Of her husband. So he said, once her husband is dead, then she's loosed from the law of her husband. But it says in the beginning, for the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law. She bound by the law. She can't say she's free to do whatever she wants. She has the freedom. America, again, the Statue of Liberty is the Statue of Freedom. God never set a woman up to be free. So she literally went from her father's household to her husband's household. From being under the command and order of her father to being under the command and order of her husband. There was never a time when she just went out and she was single, did her own thing, partied for a few years, lived her life, blazed the trail. None of that nonsense that we teach our people today. None of that. It was you give your righteous daughter that's been keeping the commandments that you taught to obey God to a righteous man. Today they didn't completely mess that up and got a woman thinking that she's free, that she's her own possession, that she can do whatever she want to do, but God didn't set it up like that. She's a servant to the man just as the man is servant to Christ. All right, give me 1 Corinthians 7 and 39.
book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 39. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord.
The wife is bound, again, by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty. Then she gets this liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord. Only a man of the Lord. This is the only time that the woman ever is given freedom by the Lord, is when her husband dies. And that freedom is only for her to either go under the church or for her to go and get another man of the Lord. That's the only freedom. It's not for her to go out and just be single for 20 years, doing whatever she want to do in every club in Houston. All right, so the wife is bound by her husband. She's not free. America never created this woman, so she can't tell you, America can't tell you what this woman is for. God created her. Let's get Genesis 2:18. America destroyed our vision or God's version of the woman. God created the woman. All right, we got to go by what He says she is. Genesis 2:18.
The book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 18. And the Lord God said, is it not good that man should be alone?
It's not good that man should be alone. Go ahead.
I will make him a helpmeet for him.
He said, I will make him a helpmeet for him. So God created the man already, and He said, okay, it's not good that this man be alone. And He said, I'm going to make him a helpmeet. He took this man that He made from the dust of the ground, and he created a woman straight out of his body. So the woman is actually part of the man's body, because she literally comes out of his body. So she actually looked crazy coming out of the man's body and then talking crazy to him. That's just like a woman's child coming out of her and then talking crazy to her. That's craziness. But again, America teach you that that's normal. That's just as crazy as a man coming from God and talking crazy to God. All right, so He said, it's not good that the man be alone, that He would make him a help meet. That word help and meet is two different words. Help, helper, and meet meaning good. So He said He would make him a good helper. And that good helper was a woman. That perfect helper was a woman that He made for him. All right? He didn't make her and tell her, run off and let Adam try to holler at you. And, if he come with the gang right, then give him your number. None of that happened. He gave her to him for a helper, for a servant, for an assistant. All right, Genesis 3:16.
Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman He said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desires shall be to thy husband.
Your desires shall be towards your husband. Go ahead.
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall rule over thee. That's what God said. That's from the beginning when He created the woman. He set her up to be a helper and a servant to her Lord and her husband, and for Him to rule over her. That was her place. Now we can't come now, thousands of years later, and say that God made a mistake or God had no understanding. No, God knew what He was doing when He created the woman, and He knew that still today you would still need the leadership of a man, because that's the way He created you. Your system haven't been updated. Okay, no matter what the white man told you, your system have not been updated to where you don't need a man now. All right, you still need a man. That's the way your system is built to run. All right, give me Proverbs 19:14. See, the way this world is set up today, daughters are set up, and the men are forced to just go out and find something, go do something. But your daughter, she treated like she's everything. She set up, she get cars, she get houses, things passed down to her, when that's all backwards. The Bible said that those things are supposed to go to your son. And by them doing this, you're spoiling this little girl and making her think that she does not need her man. Now she got pops at the house paying for everything, and a man can't pay for something. She looking down on him like he ain't nothing. Then he asking her to do something, she ain't doing no obedience. She ain't doing no obeying because he doesn't have that power, because the father is still taken care of, or the household is still taken care of. It's very dangerous for the woman to be leaning on two different masters, like the scriptures say. I get Proverbs 19 and 14.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord.
So he said, house and riches are inheritance of fathers. All right, we're supposed to be giving this to our sons. They're supposed to be giving it to their sons. Father's supposed to pass that down. That's how it's always been. And a prudent wife is a gift from the Lord. Okay, the woman is a gift from the Lord. All right, these things supposed to be passed down to the man. They're not supposed to the son. They're not supposed to be passed down to a daughter unless a certain situation happens, which we're gonna cover that as well. This just shows that God does not see the man and woman as equal, because again, they would have the same traits in the Bible. Deuteronomy 21 and 15 and Numbers 27 and 8. It's important to understand the way God sees women, not the way suckers see women, not the way people at our jobs see women. It matters how God sees women.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated.
So he said, if a man got two wives, one he loved, the other one not as much. Go ahead.
And they have born him children.
They both born him children. Go ahead.
Both the beloved and the hated.
And
if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he had, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated.
So he can't make the son of the beloved before the son of the hated, even though he does not like this woman. Why is it talking about, why are we bringing out this scripture? Because it's talking about passing down inheritance to sons. It's not talking about daughters, it's talking about passing down inheritance to sons, which is what the Bible continuously talk about. If you go through the whole first book of Matthew, you'll see clearly that it's going back through the lineage of the man, the generations of men. Why? Because that's what God is concerned with, the man's lineage. All right? This lineage has to be passed down. This lineage, this heritage is passed down through lineages. I go back to 16, and you got numbers, right?
All right.
Go ahead.
Verse 16, then it shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he had, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated.
So the sons is the ones that's supposed to inherit what he has. Numbers 27 and 8.
Numbers 27 and 8. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a man die and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter.
Read it again.
Numbers 27 and 8. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a man die and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter.
So that's the only way that the inheritance was ever given unto a daughter, as if he didn't have a son. That's the only way. But in today's society, everything is aimed towards setting the woman up, and that doesn't do anything but put her on a pedestal and make her feel like she doesn't need a man, because she just run back to her parents for everything. All right, that's very dangerous, because you can't ever get the whole use of the woman out of her. And yes, I said use. A man is supposed to use his servant. That's their purpose. They're not there to be sitting there looking pretty. They're there to be doing things for their king. All right. Today it's so backwards. We look at that stuff like that and we think something wrong with the people that's reading the Bible. Today, women are taught to dress whorish from a young age. They taught to do all kind of whorish and seductive dances. And you talking about cheerleading, you talking about dance team. Every aspect of life, of young woman's life, she's being taught to be a whore today. In every aspect. And whether it's walking around outside with little shorts on, whether it's the swim team, the volleyball team, it's many different ways she's being taught that it's okay for her to be half naked in public. And this is part of the reason why, brothers, it's hard for men to control a woman, because the woman doesn't understand her purpose, she don't understand her worth, and America is just fueling her appetite to do this and have this behavior with this music. So with them being taught to wear underwear in public, they don't understand anything when it comes to they're not their own body, that they can't show off property that does not belong to them. All right, and yes, there is such thing as clothing of a whore. Let me Proverbs 7 verse 10. Women have been taught to dress whorish.
The book of Proverbs chapter 7 verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot.
Attire of what?
An attire of an harlot.
With the attire, meaning the clothing of a harlot. So yes, there is clothing of a harlot. And these women today are wearing it. Up and down the street, everywhere you go, you're seeing clothing of a harlot. The things that our forefathers wouldn't ever see walking down the street, we see today on a daily, like it's nothing. All right, these women are completely out of order in every way you can think of. And here, the main reason is they don't.
Of their daughters.
Right in front of their daughters. They don't understand how to dress, so they don't understand how to conduct themselves. Certain clothes put on certain spirits. You wearing the wrong clothes, hey, what you think gonna happen? Another thing in this society, you grow up getting boyfriends. You grow up thinking it's okay to have your own little boyfriend at 13, 14 years old, and in this society, we foolish enough, because we learn, from the government, we foolish enough to let our daughters go out, pick a boyfriend, pick the first dude she find with the nicest shirts on, the nice pants on, nice shoes, whatever, and she bring them home, and we supposed to accept it because that's her choice. The Bible doesn't give her that choice. There's nowhere in this Bible where the woman is given the choice to do what she wants, or the choice to pick who she wants, except that situation we went through. Other than that, there's no other choice, especially not for no young woman that does not understand anything. So let's get some scripts on that. Give me Isaiah 29 verse 4 and Exodus 21 verse 7.
29 and 4.
Yeah.
Isaiah 29 and 4. And thou shalt be brought down and shalt speak.
Oh, Jeremiah, I'm sorry.
Jeremiah
29 4. My bad.
Jeremiah 29 and 4. Jeremiah 29 and 4 says, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. Build ye houses and dwell in them.
So we doing that part. Go ahead.
And plant gardens and eat the fruit of them.
Nobody got a problem with that. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Take ye wives and beget sons and daughters.
Everybody doing that. That's cool. Go ahead.
And take wives for your sons and give your daughters to husbands.
And do what?
And give your daughters to husbands.
See, that's the thing. We got a problem with that. The Bible said we're supposed to give our daughters to husbands. Our daughters don't have the opportunity to go out and do whatever they want like the heathens do. That's not our customs. That's not what we do. We're supposed to give our daughters over to a righteous man. Anything other than that is out of line, wickedness. All right, she don't know no better. Your job is to be there for her. Make sure you make that right decision for her. All right, so he said, give your daughters to righteous men. Go ahead.
That they may bear sons and daughters. That ye may be increased there and not diminished.
So he said that they may bear sons and daughters. What they thinking today the young women think, oh, I'm 20, 21 years old. Oh, no, I still gotta live my life before I get married or have children. I gotta live my life. I gotta have my fun. That's code word for I gotta go out and have sex with a bunch of men. And then I'll be ready to settle down, give myself to you. All right, that's wickedness. That's not what God created a woman to be. All right, it's real simple. The man's job is supposed to raise that daughter up and give her to a righteous man. Exodus 21:7.
Book of Exodus chapter 21 verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And if a man sell his daughter.
If a man what?
And if a man sell his daughter.
If a man sell his daughter, this is what was going on before. Before we came into captivity, our daughters were being sold. Yeah, Esau will tell you that that's wicked. He'll tell you that that's wrong. There's something wrong with us if we think it's righteous for a man to sell his daughter. But read it one more time.
The book of Exodus chapter 21 verse 7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant.
To be what?
To be a maidservant.
So you're going to sell your daughter to be a maidservant. And people will say that you crazy if you sell your daughter to be a maidservant. The Bible said if a man sold his daughter to be a maidservant. Go ahead.
She shall not go out as the men servants do.
She shall not go out as the men servants do. She wasn't supposed to go out after the 7 years. So he said a man was selling his daughter, not only for marriage, they were sold as handmaids as well. So every woman wasn't chosen as a wife. Every woman's beauty is not on that level to where they was chosen as a wife, plain and simple. But he's telling you, read it one more time.
And if a man sell his daughter.
If a man what?
And if a man sell his daughter.
Now we got to read it a couple times because they don't want to hear that. If a man sell his daughter, the Bible tells you men were selling their daughters to be handmaids. These are Hebrews. Of course, she couldn't be a handmaid to a Gentile. She was a handmaid to other Hebrew men. So this is not the order that they teach today. And you'll call that wrong. You got that Isaiah 5:20?
Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
And that's the thing. They call evil good and good evil. They'll call what God says good, that's evil to them. And they'll call evil good. It's good for a young woman, 13, 14 years old, to go pick her boyfriend. The Bible calls that wicked, and this society calls it good. You got to choose a side. You can't be lukewarm with it. So he said, woe to them that call evil good. What?
Again, Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. That put darkness for light.
That put what?
That put darkness for light.
And we know the Bible says darkness is the ways of the wicked. He said, woe to them that put the ways of the wicked for their commandments. They make that righteous. Woe to them that say that it's okay to do things that God says it's not okay to do. Keep reading.
And light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
That's right. And that's what's going on today. Everything's being changed around, and they've been building this thing for a long time. It's not just something they just threw together. This is craftily put together for a long time to keep you from understanding what's going on. But without the Spirit, without the Scriptures, you wouldn't be able to see what's going on. Without the Lord giving you the vision to see. So another thing we're going to show in these videos, in this series, we're going to show different movies, different commercials, different shows where they're showing feminism and they're promoting it. And you'll be surprised. It's literally in every show. And they do it so slightly you really don't pay attention to it because it seems like everyday life. But we're going to expose little by little just to make sure everybody's catching on. And as you start seeing them, you'll start seeing it in other shows. We got a few shows like Married with Children. We got a couple Martin shows on deck. Living Single. It's a few shows that we dissected and bring out how they were basically creating this society for us a long time ago, and they was conditioning us for this a long time ago. We just didn't know. We just laughed it up, had a good time enjoying TV shows like it was nothing. Whole time we was getting programmed,
running them back too.
So back to back, like it was nothing. You know, we got on deck. We also bringing out music by Aretha Franklin, music by Beyonce, music by you name it, Lil Wayne, everybody. We're gonna bring out Madonna. Oh my goodness, the Madonna one gonna be ridiculous. Just know she got a song that say her vagina tastes like holy water, and the video is worse. So we're gonna chop that thing up as well. And all throughout this thing, we trying to bring out scriptures so people understand that, you know, this world completely against God, completely. If you're going with this world, you are completely against God. And the main way is understanding that the woman is not equal to the man. These men are kings out here. And for some reason, we've been taught that we have to listen to a woman. We're going to bring it out some more. Give me Ecclesiasticus 36:24. We'll bring out a few more. Yeah, Sirach 36 and 24.
26, right?
36.
Oh, 36.
Yeah.
Sirach 36 and 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Beginning what?
Beginneth a possession.
So he said when a man gets a wife, a man now has a possession. All right, meaning he owns this woman. Go ahead.
A help like unto himself.
He said a help like unto himself, meaning a helper that's just like he's helping himself. Go ahead.
And the pillar of rest.
So if the woman is being a possession of the man, and we know earlier we spoke on how the woman is the body of the man, how can the woman then not do what the man says? How can a limb of your body not do what you say? You tell your arm to do something, it's gonna do it. My brother just told his arm pick up that glass. The arm didn't hesitate at all. The arm reached out, grabbed the glass, took care of it. Why? Because that's part of his body. It have to obey him. It's the same way with the woman. The woman is crazy to think that she's a part of a man's body, but don't have to obey him. That's absolutely crazy, and that's only taught to you by somebody that's anti-order and anti-Christ. But again, we're gonna bring it out to show the importance of why they're doing this to you. All right, Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22.
The book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
So if it wasn't clear enough to understand the order in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, here he said, you know, her job is to submit herself, to obey her husband the same way she would obey Christ. Not the same way she would obey her boss at work, not the same way she would obey her friends, but she have to actually treat her husband as if Christ just walked up. That's her job. Right? We can't change it to being something else. Keep reading.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church.
So it says the same way as Christ the head of the church. Go ahead.
And he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ,
same way the man got to obey Christ,
so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
In what?
In everything.
The Bible says that the women are commanded by God to obey their husband in every single thing. Not some things, in everything. And that hurt a lot of feminist spirit right there. And that's the reason why a lot of feminists are atheists. It's because it hurts their spirit what God says about women. That God does not agree that women are equal or women can be above a man. But that's what God said. He said a woman is commanded to obey their husband in everything, every single thing. All right, give me 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 5. This is not what America teaches. This is completely against America.
It's America's whole agenda.
For real. This is their worst nightmare, the Bible.
1 Peter 3 and 4.
Verse 5.
Verse 5. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in God adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
Being in subjection unto their own husbands. That's what a holy woman does. Not today. Today, a holy woman still wear a tight skirt to church and be in the church trying to cause brothers to sin. And they'll think this is a holy woman because she in church every week. All right, he said the holy women of God was in subjection to their husbands. They obeyed. They was in under obedience to their husbands. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
Calling him what?
Calling him Lord.
Calling him Lord. All right. Now it went from saying obey your husband the same way you would obey the Lord. Now it's saying that the woman actually called her husband Lord. Why is this? Because the word Lord means master. The word Lord means God. All right, and she knows who her Lord is. She knows who her God is. She knows who her master is. She knows who her head is. That's why she called him that. Today, the woman thinks that nobody's her head, nobody's her master. Nobody can tell her what to do. Who gonna check me? That's the attitude that she got. And the only reason why she got that attitude is because she can call 911. That's it. Other than that, she wouldn't have that attitude. Now, question is, what is a Lord-servant relationship? Because a lot of people get confused and think that the woman is not a servant to a man, but the Bible is clear. Now, if the woman calls her man Lord, or the man is placed in a lordship position, then the woman by default automatically is in a servant position. You can't have somebody calling somebody Lord. There's nobody that calls somebody Lord that don't look at them as their Lord and that they're serving them. You don't call somebody Lord that you're not serving. The Lord said in Luke 6:46, why call me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? So the only way you're going to call somebody Lord is if you're doing the things they command, which makes you their servant. So by default, the woman is a servant to the man. Whether she be a princess, queen, or a heathen. The woman, period, is a servant to the man. All right? Let's get a little proof on that. Give me go to the blue letter. Can I get the blue letter out you real quick? And give me Psalms 45. Oh, that's a nightmare over there.
Psalms
45.
Psalms 45 and 7. I mean 10.
On the blue letter.
No. The blue letter was what was it? Go back to 1 Peter 3.
It's 45 and 10?
Yeah.
Is it the one 40 years long?
Psalms?
Yeah.
45?
Oh, yeah, I think C is 100, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Way out
Yeah, okay, I got it. Hearken, O daughter.
there. Yeah. Hold on real quick. You got it? The
3.
Lord.
I'm on 1 Peter 3.
You got the blue letter? For the Lord.
On this
First Peter.
First Peter. Give me 1 second. This is my Spanish.
Oh, okay.
John
First Peter.
1 Peter 3 and
6.
6. And then
Yeah.
so I'm at Lord.
Lord. What Lord is that?
Kyrios.
Kyrios?
Kyrios.
Kyrios. Let's get a definition on that. Because this is what she was calling her husband. We just want to look at the actual definition of the word. Kyrios.
It says out in 1. Yeah. Oh, wait. This one right here.
Mm-hmm.
to whom a person or thing belongs, about which he has power of deciding, master and lord.
He said, he to whom a person or thing belongs, meaning you belong to this person. Same thing is said in the book we just read in Ecclesiastes chapter 36, verse 24. The woman is a possession of the man. Here, she was calling her man Lord. Why? Because she is owned by this man. It's the same thing. Keep going.
A possessor and disposer of a thing.
A possessor and disposer of a thing. Go ahead.
The owner, one who has control of the person, the master.
One who has control. The man has control over the woman. So he said one who has control, and it says the master. Now, what other words was that word Kyrios used for?
Let me see. On the same.
On the same, yeah.
This title is given to God, the Messiah.
No, the one down at the bottom.
Is a
like
title
where it
of honor.
where it says other words is used for.
Lord, master, sir.
Yeah, read those.
Yeah. Lord, master,
How many
sir.
times in all that?
Lord?
Yeah.
667 times.
So this word was used as Lord 667 times. Go ahead.
And that's a capital Lord, L
Right.
or Lord. And then the lowercase Lord is 54 times.
54 times. Go ahead.
Master M, lowercase m, master 11 times.
Mm-hmm.
Lowercase s, sir 6 times.
Uh-huh.
Capital S, sir 6 times. And
Miscellaneous. So you got the same word being used as Lord, Master, and Sir. This word Kyrios. All right. Why? Because that's what the man is to the woman: the Lord, the Master, and the Sir. All right. The man has never been equal to the woman ever in history. And the only reason why we think that today is because we have been deceived. All right. Let's go back to it. Psalms 45 and 10. Now that we know what the word Lord means.
The book of Psalms, chapter 45, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Hearken, O daughter, and consider,
Mm-hmm.
and incline thine ear.
Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thine ear, meaning pay good attention. Go ahead.
Forget also thine own people and thy father's house.
And forget thy own people and thy father's house. Why? Because that's what you have to do to serve your Lord the way that you was put here to serve him. You wasn't put here to play games with that serving. So in order to do that, you got to put away everything else. Do away with everything else and focus solely on your Lord. Same way brothers got to do away with everything in the world and focus solely on their Lord. Same thing. Go ahead.
So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him.
And what?
And worship thou him.
The Lord said you're supposed to be worshiping your king. You're supposed to be serving your king. That's why it calls him your Lord. It doesn't. That's not an accident. That wasn't put in the scriptures on accident. You really his servant. He really your Lord. And the one that created you really feel that way. It don't matter what society done told you, they not gonna change how God gonna judge people when he returns. He gonna judge off of his rules, not what society done change the rules to. All right, give me that one more time from the top.
The book of Psalms, chapter 45, verse 10. Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thine ear. Forget also thy own people and thy father's house. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him.
So he's telling you straight up, this is your king and this is your Lord. It don't matter who you think you are, you got a king and a Lord. All right? That was 45. Tobit 8 and 4, and Deuteronomy 21 and 10.
Tobit 8 and 4.
So from top?
Tobit 8 verse 4.
Oh, you want
no,
Tobit?
8 verse 6.
I got Psalms?
I got
Yeah.
I got Tobit.
All right, you got Tobit. Give me Tobit, and then Deuteronomy 21 verse 10.
All right, the book of Tobit 8 and 4.
8, 6. Verse 6.
Verse 6. Thou madest Adam and gavest him Eve, his wife, for the helper.
For what?
For a helper.
For what?
A helper.
That's what God said. He said he made Adam and gave him Eve for a helper. That's pretty plain and simple. Today the woman think that she is here to be helped. She think that she's here to tell the man what to do, and God never created that. Every time you have that spirit, every time you have that thought, you're thinking wickedly against God's creation, against God's order. Every time you think that you can do or say something against what your man say, you're thinking wickedly, because you're not doing nothing but taking a bite of that forbidden fruit. That's it. All right, give me Deuteronomy.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 10. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God has delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast desired unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife.
That thou would. So we will go throughout the nations, as it tells you in Deuteronomy 20 and 10. We will go throughout the nations, and we would take hold of all the people of each city. And if they didn't want any trouble with us, they had to give us, we had to take over the entire city and be masters. They had to be servants they had to be servants under us in the whole city, every person in the city. These are the stipulations all throughout the Bible. We went through this and covered this before. The stipulations is everybody have to serve, not some people. All right? So we will go throughout these cities, and when we would take them over, and the men that did not want to, of course, give up their rulership, they were killed and their women were taken. So now it's explaining what happened with these women. He said, you see amongst the captives a beautiful woman and has desire unto her, go ahead.
That thou wouldest have her to thy wife.
That thou wouldest have her to thy wife, that you want her to be one of your women. So if you already have a woman and you see amongst the captives a beautiful woman, it doesn't say you have to leave that woman and then go and get this woman. That's not how it works. The Bible tells you that women were given as gifts to men. So what does it say? Keep reading.
Then thou shalt bring her home to thy house, and she shall shave her head.
But if you bring her home and you got a woman at home already, in this society, that's a problem. But the Bible said that that's what the man was supposed to do. You think the women had a problem with it at that time? No. Why? Because it wasn't no 911. It wasn't Esau to come and save the day and say that the woman is being oppressed. Everybody was going according to God's laws. All right, that's all I wanted was that part. I just wanted to bring that out so they can understand there is order. All right, give me Judges 5 and 30, even more on this same situation. Us going to war, coming back with all these women.
The book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 30. Have they not spared? Have they not divided the prey to every man, a damsel or two?
A what?
A damsel or two?
A woman or two to every man. So you come back from a city with a whole city full of women, you're going to divide to every man a damsel or two. What does God call her? Prey, spoil. All right? That's not equal to a man. That's not equal to a king. Feminism is anti-Christ. It's anti-God, because God never made a woman equal. These women were always subservient, always obedient, and understood their place. Why? Because if they got out of line, they got something put on their behind. There was no white man to come save them, say, oh, you are oppressing the woman. That didn't happen. All right? And when Christ returned, none of that going to be happening no more. Just know that. All right? So the woman is known as prey and spoiled. The woman was never known as something for a man to go and consult with, something for him to check with her, make sure she's okay with this and that. That's his servant. That's like a employer going to work to go check out his company and his building, and then there's certain employees in there he's scared to be around. He's scared to talk to. This his building. He's scared to talk and tell people what to do in his own building. That's craziness. And that's how it is in a lot of men's households. They got possessions and they scared to tell them what to do. They got servants and they scared to tell them what to do. That's a destroyed king right there. So again, God does not look at the woman as being equal. The woman was given away as prey. All right? And to all the women that say that Abraham only had a concubine because Sarah gave her a concubine, let's see if that matches with the scriptures. Get Genesis 25:6. Because contrary to popular belief, righteous man, spiritual man, had multiple wives in the Bible. All right?
Genesis 25:6. But unto the sons of the concubines, which Abraham had.
Which what?
Which Abraham had.
So it said unto the sons, multiple sons of the concubines, which Abraham had. Go ahead.
Abraham gave gifts
Mm-hmm.
and sent them away from Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
his son,
Mm-hmm.
while he yet lived, eastward unto the east country.
And if you don't understand what a concubine is a sex slave. Okay? I know that hurt a lot of ears, but that's what it is, a sex slave. So if he has sons from these concubines, it's because he was having sex with these concubines. That's how the sons came about. In case y'all can't do that regular math. All right, so clearly Abraham had more than one concubine. It wasn't a woman had to authorize him getting a concubine. None of that was going on. The woman has absolutely no say-so in what a man does. Zero. All right? Till the woman get that through her head, she gonna cause you a headache in your household. Give me Judges chapter 8, verse 30.
Judges 8 and 30.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Judges, chapter 8, verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
And Gideon had three score and 10 sons of his body begotten,
Mm-hmm.
for he had many wives.
Yeah, what?
For he had many wives.
So Gideon had 10 sons of his body. That's 70 sons. That's just the sons. He said, for he had many wives. This is a righteous man. He said he had many wives. Go ahead.
And his concubine that was in Shechem.
And so this righteous man had a sex slave. All right, just so you know. I know it don't sound good. Again, woe to them that call evil good and good evil. All right, we're going to go by what God say. His concubine, go ahead.
She also bare him a son,
Uh-huh.
whose name is called Abimelech.
All right, so it's telling you that righteous men had sons and daughters and had multiple wives. All right, that's not a wicked thing. That's what you've been taught in this society. That's not what you've been taught in the Bible. Give me 2 Samuel 5 and 13. It's impossible for a woman to be equal when a man can have more than one of them. And a woman can't have more than one man.
5 and
2 Samuel 5:13.
14. 2 Samuel 5 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
And David took him more concubines
Mm-hmm.
and wives out of Jerusalem.
So hold on, we're talking about King David here. It said King David took him more concubines. So to take more of something, I can't take more chips unless I had some chips already. All right, so he said David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem. So yes, he took him more sex slaves. I'm going to say the word again. I know it hurt your feelings. That's what the Bible says. Feminism is not in this Bible. The Bible is anti-feminism. All right, so women understand that they cannot be saved. So he said David took him more wives and concubines. This is right when David became king. And a lot of people will try to say he's unrighteous. Well, let's see what the Bible says about David. Get Acts 13:22. Acts 13:22.
Acts 13 and 22. And when he had removed him,
Mm-hmm.
he raised up unto them David to be their king,
Mm-hmm.
to whom also he gave testimony, and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse,
Mm-hmm.
a man after my own heart,
Mm-hmm.
which shall fulfill all of my will.
So he said that David was a man after his own heart, meaning the same type of man that he would be. Same type of man he is. He said that David was this man. And David took him more wives and concubines when he became king. You cannot say that this man was wicked for doing this when God said it's the same type of man that he would be. Then you're happy to go against God. One day, you're going to have to wake up and understand this world is not what the white man has told you it is. All right? Let me Isaiah 32 and 9. We're going to wrap it up. Isaiah 32, verse 9.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Rise up, you women that are at ease.
Rise up, you women that are at ease. Why does it say at ease? Because you got stuff you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be serving a king. But y'all at ease right now. Y'all do what y'all want. All you got to do is post a picture of your behind on Instagram. You got 50 people in the inbox ready to buy you whatever. All right, those days is about to come to an end. Go ahead, read it again.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Rise up, you women that are at ease.
Mm-hmm.
Hear my voice, ye careless daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Give ear unto my speech.
Give ear unto his speech. Go ahead.
Many days and years shall ye be troubled,
Mm-hmm.
ye careless women.
Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. You women out here thinking that it's all about you, talking about you living your best life and you doing what you gonna do and can't nobody take. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. You're not caring for a king, you are a careless woman. That's what you are. Alright, many days and years you shall be troubled. Go ahead.
For the vintage shall fail,
Uh-huh.
the gathering shall not come.
Uh-huh.
Tremble, ye women that are at ease.
Uh-huh.
Be troubled, ye careless ones.
He say, tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. The Lord telling you be afraid, you better be afraid. Know for certainty something is coming. He finna end this party for all these females, all these so-called models, which is really whores. I don't care what kind of model you call yourself. If you're taking off your clothes, you get putting on, you're in underwear, it don't matter what it is. If you're taking off your clothes to whatever degree on camera, you're doing this for a whorish reason. You're causing men to sin. All right? So he said you need to tremble. Why? Because you're at ease. That's not what you was here. That's not what you're here for. You're here to give that beauty to one man, one king, and serve him on a daily basis. The Lord said, many days and years ye shall be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled. Go ahead.
Ye careless ones.
Ye careless ones. Go ahead.
Strip ye and make ye bare.
Strip ye and make ye bare. You got all that Fendi and Gucci this and all that. You think that's going to save you. That ain't going to do nothing. The Lord said, come up out of all of that. Because that's nothing but outward appearance. That's no inward righteousness. All our sisters all in the Instagram all day with the camera every 5 minutes. Vain. Vanity. Go ahead.
And gird sackcloth upon your loins.
Gird sackcloth upon your loins. You're supposed to be in a state of mourning. Understanding that this is about to end and a lot of people about to die.
And brothers entertain the fall.
I mean, our brothers so asleep right now, they don't even understand that they entertain, the way that they entertain the foolishness and the folly is only to their own destruction. And not just their destruction, their children's destruction, their brother's destruction. You know, the next man's destruction, their nephew's destruction. You know, if you are friends with a dyke, you part of the problem. You're allowing her to think it's okay. You're allowing her to think it's okay to not serve a man and not be what God created her to be and what he put on earth to be. You're part of the problem. All right? It's just the intro to the feminism videos. We're going to be bringing out a lot of this wickedness that's going on in these videos and movies. Hopefully everybody can get edified. And
I got one more.
Go ahead, what you got?
I got one more. Sirach 26 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
The grace of a wife delighted her husband,
Mm-hmm.
and her discretion will fat his bones.
Mm-hmm. Her discretion will fat his bone. Go ahead.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
A what?
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
A silent and loving woman. Go ahead.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
There's nothing more worth than a woman's mind that's well instructed. That means a woman that's well trained, well instructed. I mean, you tell her what to do, she knows exactly how to do it. She in line. It's nothing more worth than that. That's what the Bible says. Alright? And we trying to show you how to get her back to that stage. And the first thing you gotta do is get her to understand that this is feminism, what she's been taught. This is Antichrist. Hopefully we can bring out a little bit more information on it and help y'all get a chance to see and help your household out. Alright, with that, we say shalom.
All about the brethren, never say I'm better than. Anybody do need chains and fettering. Everybody with me got a flame they carrying. Hit you with the scripture, have your brain unsettling. Change is evident, the game is heaven sent. Vote who you want, but that ain't my president. Ride for the Lord, ride for his inheritance. I die for the Lord, die for the whole heritage. I grind for the Lord and show you what he telling me. Lying if they can't show you where he felling me. Build your roadblocks, but it's no derailing me. Tell them blaspheming ain't no cheap felony. Only 35 good days still ahead of me. If the Lord will, cause I know the scribes getting me. Teaching me that serving man is gon' better me. When we get to the kingdom, they gon' need better knees. So move around with the bullshit. Take your wicked ass back to the pulpit and lead us right here for the brothers that are pull scripts and show you how to make it do a full flip.
By me, kings reign and princes decree justice. By me, princes rule and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness.